You want to first disconnect the battery, then loosen the hose clamp by the throttle body. You then want to disconnect the CCV hose from the stock intake tube. All you need to do is squeeze the hose clamps and pull it out. Then disconnect the mass airflow harness from the sensor. There's 2 clips. You want to unhook these last 2 clamps from the airbox. You also need to loosen the hose clamp by the stock airbox as well. They both are a 10mm socket. You want to pop the air filter out and you'll reveal the bolts on the inside of the airbox. These are the bolts that you need to remove. They are 12mm socket. There's 2 on the inside and then there's 1 on the outside of the box. Be sure to hold on to all these bolts because you're going to use them to install the new intake. Next, you're going to take out the grommet and the metal washer that's on the inside. I used the bolts that I removed to aid in removing the metal washer on the inside. You just push it through, it's a perfect size, and then you just kind of wiggle and squeeze out the grommet. Super easy once you use the bolt. Once you have them all out, you're going to put the new grommet and new washer in all 3 of the holes of the new intake. Next, you're going to install all the caps and grommets onto the new intake. Once you have it all assembled, you're going to place it where the old stock airbox was, and then you're going to fasten it with the 3 bolts you took off the stock airbox. You want to carefully remove the mass airflow sensor from the old stock airbox, and S&B provides a plate, a plastic plate that you put on first, and like a rubber gasket that you want to put on before you put on to the new air take. You then want to put the rubber coupler onto the throttle body, and do not forget to put the hose clamps on before you put the new intake tube on, or you're gonna be really bummed when you put it all together and you don't have hose clamps on there. You then want to put the intake tube onto the throttle body, and I wiggled it around to really get it into the new box. It was kind of a pain. Just make sure you don't get this tube seal that is connected to the box. It might pop out sometimes, but once you get it in and you hold it in there, you can wiggle and twist it to where you need it to be after. Once you have the tube in, you want to tighten down these hose clamps. Before you do, make sure on the inside of the box that there's enough room to put the filter on with the other hose clamp. Once you have it on, you can connect the CCV hose as well as the mass airflow connection. It's finally time to install the filter. The hose clamp is already attached to the filter. Just position it to where you can screw it in easily. Once the filter's on, you want to put this rubber gasket around the edge. You just want to push it through. Some parts are easier than others. This is for the top plate that's going to seal it all in. I had a little bit of extra gasket, so I just trimmed it off with some scissors to make it fit perfectly. Once the gasket is on, you're going to put the plate on top, and then you're going to take a washer, a plastic washer that's provided, and a screw. And you're just going to screw those in all the way around. Make sure there's a nice, tight, snug fit on the gasket and the plate on top. Once it's installed, reconnect the battery and you have this beautiful growling intake.